Hello, everyone. This is Tarot Jean on the scene here at lunapaths.com. And I had a couple of people ask me if I would do a further video on Neptune and Aries and how it affects everybody in their astrology. And basically, when I do astrology, I look at the rising sign, which is determined by the time you were born. The rising sign changes over the horizon every 2 hours. And the rising sign is how you present yourself to the world. So it's one of your big three. Any astrologer will ask you, what is your big three? Your sun, your moon, and your rising. So I would look at this report towards your rising sign and possibly your sun sign. Now, looking at Neptune into Aries, the last time it moved into Aries in 1861 was within 24 hours of the start of the Civil War. Also, during the time that it was in there, it also was the time of Madame Blavatsky and then the whole rise of like the metaphysical and Mary Todd Lincoln doing seances in the White House. So it was definitely a time of spiritual growth and expansion where people wanted to check out new belief systems and also what was also born during that time period was the Red Cross, which was definitely being in action to help people in that time of need. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this cycle, with Neptune shifting into Aries. But I got my notes here because it's a lot to keep track of everybody. But so I will just start right with Aries. Now, Aries, it looks like it's going to be hitting you right around your first house. It could be in your 12th, it could be in your first, but really it's about redefining your identity. Like, who are you? Is there something new that you want to do? Is there a new way that you want to live? Do you want to move? Do you want to change your job? Because Aries is a very physical sign. So I would definitely say you'll have to take physical action for sure, but Neptune is going to show you how to do it. So don't be impulsive. Let Neptune, light up your dreams. You know what I mean? See where you kind of go, but don't be afraid to take courageous action. Now, if you're a Taurus rising, this is going to be like your 12th or your 11th house, depending on your time of birth. Now, what I would say is, is it time to get out of the house? Or is it time to start a home based business? I would definitely pay attention to your dreams as well, especially if it's in the 12th house. You could get some insights, maybe keeping a journal. You may have some sort of truth revealed to you. So yes, if you're a Taurus rising, is it time for a home-based business? Or, you know what I mean? Is it time to get out of the house and start a business? For Gemini, this is the 11th, 10th house for you. So really, you need to go find your tribe. Like, who are your people? Like, get out there and network. Like, build that community that supports you. It could be spiritual, it could be intellectual, but definitely group dynamics for the Geminis. So get out there and empower yourself, find your soul group. Now, for the Cancers, let's see. Well, you're like the 10th and the ninth house right there for the Cancer. So, is there a new career based on a new direction completely? Will you find fame and creative and spiritual pursuits as well? What is your life purpose for creating some sort of legacy that lives beyond you? Like, realize that, if it's a 10th house, you're going to have to hustle. So you can't be dragging around because they really want you to create something solid. So that's definitely going to ask you to put your nose to the grindstone there. Now, if you're a Leo rising, it's going to be like the ninth house, possibly the eighth house. Again, it depends on what time you were born. Is there a quest for a higher truth for you? Is there some sort of personal truth that you have been looking for within your life? Will you be compelled to teach what you believe? So I would also say looking at the ninth house, it also deals with immigration and long-term travel, but it's definitely something to do with about gaining some sort of higher education or even making some sort of legal moves because the ninth house deals with the legal system and the judicial system. So for Leos, yeah, definitely what is your higher truth? What is the truth that you're looking for? What is the truth that you would like to teach? Now, Virgo, Virgo rising, Virgo sun. This is like the eighth house, possibly the seventh house for you. So that's intimacy and other people's money. To avoid codependency, like, are you being realistic about like how the income is being worked in your house? Neptune can really blur the lines with his escapism and its love of addiction. So, are there clear boundaries and understanding that affect your income, that affect your intimacy levels? So I think that for you, that's a pretty having it in the eighth house is pretty heavy. It's pretty deep because it's going to challenge you to really not only take a look at what's happening around finances and the partnerships that you have within your life, but it's going to ask you to transform it and change it. Now, if you're a Libra rising, actually Libra rising, this could be pretty good for you guys because you could wind up meeting somebody that you really connect with because it's happening in your seventh house. But you definitely would have to clear up any challenges around relationships. Again, Neptune can be a little nebulous. It likes to pull the wool over our eyes sometimes. So make sure you're not over idealizing somebody. And if there's some red flags, that you're acknowledging those red flags. Like, don't ignore it. um, Now for Scorpio rising, you guys are like the sixth or the fifth house. And really, that's going to ask how well you're caring for yourself. Are you exercising? Are you getting good food and a good night's sleep? Really, what you want to do is avoid overextending yourself, like avoid burnout. Scorpios can be a little tense. That energy can be really intense. So, schedule some happiness, do some yoga, get out in nature, is what I would say for all of our Scorpio risings. Yeah, find some happiness for yourself. No, Sag. Oh God, Sag. If you're a Sag rising, how much fun is this going to be to have Neptune in the fifth house? Oh my God, how much fun. You know what? Whatever you want to pull up, if you want to start a band, you want to create a theater, anything creative, like, oh my gosh, if you want to start having a family, Leo, that fifth house rules children, it rules pets, it rules new love. Like, so if you're a Sag rising, oh my God, I think you guys are about ready to have a really great time. But again, balance, balance, balance. Don't burn yourself out, but definitely put your creative self out there. Put your zany, optimistic self out there because we definitely need some of that right now. Now, Capricorn, this is the fourth house. So it's going to ask you what's happening with your home. Are there issues clearly communicating with the people that you're living with? Sometimes Neptune says there can be a lack of clarity or boundaries, but alternatively, it could be having to help somebody who may not be able to care for themselves. Do you have an aging parent that has dementia that, can no longer maintain their independence? So, do you somehow have to take a physical move somewhere? Do you need to move in with them? Do they need to move in with you? But it's also, the fourth house. It's also about finding forgiveness within the family, about letting some old wounds go. So, Capricorn rising and Capricorn sun, definitely pay attention to what is happening within your home. And also, do you need to take this responsibility for somebody else who may not be able to take care of themselves? Now for Aquarius, this is the third house. Oh my God, Aquarius rising. Ugh, this is definitely the placement for you guys. Like, how many ideas are you just trying to get out there? Is there enough that maybe you could be a writer or a vlogger? I mean, the third house is Gemini and networking. I think that words can make you some money in this house. So, is there some articles you should be writing? Is there some videos you should be recording? Where is your genius? And how can you share it with everybody? How can you get it out there into the world? So that's what I would say for the Aquarius rising with the third house placement. And then Pisces. Oh my gosh, Pisces. Second house. You guys could go big in this house, but it's really about your self worth. Like, you know what I mean? Your self worth is definitely tied to your money. So, what I would say is with this Pisces rising, is it time to heal some really old wounds? And with Chiron being in your sign right now, like, is there wounds that like you brought in to heal? So, is there some sort of past life DNA that's kind of like showing itself saying, you know what I mean? Through true forgiveness is their transformation. And through that transformation, does that uplift your self-confidence level? Does that make you say, you know what, I deserve better? I'm going to stop beating myself up. I'm going to stop tying my self-worth to my productivity, So I think you have to examine your relationship with money and the things that you value overall in life. But as you can see, everybody, well, that's my little take on Neptune and Aries for the signs. And like you said, that's for the rising sign and the sun sign. Now, if you have any questions or comments, or you would like some further explanations with one of them, you can certainly comment below. If you want to give a little like on this video, I would certainly appreciate it, everyone. And well, thank you for tuning in. And as always, I appreciate you sharing your time with me. And this is Tarot Jean on the scene. Over and out, my friends. Enjoy your day.